Petrosyan, you see Arut Pogoshin along with Jake Ramos. And it looks like we have Steve Hordinsky over there as well. Both guys feeling each other out a little bit for the start in the center of the cage before Art Petrosyan, Juan Gonzalez shot in for the takedown. He has Art Petrosyan's back up against the fence right now. Great switch of positions right there by Art Petrosyan. Art is looking for his own takedown setup right now. Look for him to run the pipe on the single leg, and the pump and dump, there we go. Art Petrosyan sitting in top position right now in that half guard. Now his last win was by Americana, so we know that he's going to be looking for a finish any way that he can find it. Yep, did look like he had that head and arm start to set up right there, but Juan Gonzalez was able to work his way out of the threat. However, still not a good position for Juan to be in right now. And just as Cody mentioned, that bottom lockdown, that is going to prevent some of the offensive threats, or at least the threat of Art Petrosyan passing the guard right now.
It's not a position that you can improve. You're not going to get up from that position. You're not going to be able to sweep from that position. It's a stall position. So, you know, there's 4 minutes left in the round. Get up, work off your back, look for submissions, look to recapture your guard. Lockdown's okay for a second, but you don't want to be hanging out there. He has that head and arm. I'm curious as to why he's not trying to jump.
Maybe, dare you say that the fear of the thought of losing the position, you know, not going, maybe cook him a little bit longer until he can actually get it in. I don't know, just maybe offering a counterpoint. Strong elbow right there by Art Petrosyan from the top position. Now, contrary to where the positioning was when we were talking about a previous fight, right now in the half guard, Juan does have the option to get that leg, that right leg down to the canvas and start to work himself back up to his feet right now using the fence to wall walk. But it just doesn't look like that's the strategy that he's trying to employ.
I think he's just trying to survive right here. He's eating some big elbows. Petrosyan's all over him.
Now Gonzalez is slowly starting to make his way back up to his feet, but Petrosyan is like a wet blanket right now.
He's not letting any space there. He's working the whole time. He's a wet blanket, just pressuring him the whole time.
Now, tough angle to see right now just based off of the cage post and Bobby Wambacher in my line of sight. Looks like Art is looking to turn the corner and get around to the back, though. How important is that wrist ride that Art Petrosyan has maintained for the majority of this fight once they've been in these grappling sequences?
I mean, it's pretty important, but when they get back to the feet, it's not as important. The wrist control isn't going to be able to allow you to do too much damage when you're in a standing position. When he's in turtle, he's on his knees, he's flattened out, it's great. work the near side wrist, post grab, all that kind of stuff. But up standing, you're not really going to land big shots there. You're not really controlling too much. It's kind of a moot point. On the ground, though, it's great work.
Very well said there by our UFC veteran, Cody Brundage. Now, if you're in the blue corner here and you're looking to offer up some words of encouragement for Juan Gonzalez before going out there this next round, Cody, what are you saying?
Trying to take the takedown, but he didn't have to take. I was saying, if you want to get a takedown, let's work our hand, work our volume, close distance, and get to the takedown. You don't need to dive in on a bad shot.
Well said. And we are about to go with the second round right now in this main event contest from the Stampede here in Aurora, Colorado. This is round 2 of a welterweight title fight here at Colorado Combat Club 11. A couple of inside leg kicks there by Juan Gonzalez. I'd like to see a few more straight punches coming from Juan Gonzalez. It looks like he's looping everything, and Art has been able to figure out where the attacks are coming from and using his defense with the high guard nicely to block those hooks.
But yeah, you're right, Jordan, but Gonzalez is durable, man. He might not be throwing the most crisp technique right now, but I think that he's trying to drag this into later rounds because I feel like that's where Gonzalez is going to shine.
We shall see. Good combination right there from Juan Gonzalez before the clinch exchange. Started off by the lead to the body. But Art Petrosyan with the pressure up against the fence right now, looking to secure himself the takedown. Threaten the body lock, threaten the single leg. We'll see if he goes to hook the pipe right here. Did look to see, just based by the position and by the hips, that the outside trip was available for a moment, but it looks like now Juan Gonzalez has been able to gather his base and prevent that throw. Phenomenal level change in timing right there by Art Petrosyan. Art Petrosyan looking to turn the corner, working over around to the back of Juan Gonzalez. He's got the seatbelt grip. He's got one hook in. Petrosyan returns him right back down to the mat. And look to see scoring done from the top position here from Art. If Juan starts to stand up, there's going to be the chance that Art pulls in both hooks on that backpack. He's going to start to look to weave that hand. Almost think, folks, when you see him shoot his fist across the face for the rear naked choke, like an ice cream scoop. He's going to scoop it with his fist, looking at his wristwatch across the face and scoop it over once he gets to the other side.
It's 11:30. It's close to bedtime for me, and you're over here talking about ice cream. Man, I got to go get some ice cream now.
Well, you know what, Josh, friend? We are not done yet. But so far, a dominant grappling display from Art Petrosyan into the second round.
Gonzalez is doing a good job of fighting the hands and keeping his hands off of his neck.
Yep, definitely. And I mean, that goes to speak to that veteran experience. He knows that he's in danger. He knows that there's trouble on the horizon right now. So it's probably a bit of a let's survive right now until we can find our moment or our window of opportunity, if you will, to be able to bridge, explode, get out, however that escape may come. Maybe it's creeping the hips down lower and lower, and then finally being able to make that circle back in and scrape his shoulder across. Maybe it's by getting the leg outside and starting to escape with the lower half. But one way or the other, he's got to get Art off of his back. And even though that may not be getting underneath the neck and starting the choke threat from Petrosyan there, that blade of his forearm and that bone just scraping on the nose, the face, that is so uncomfortable.
It's not comfortable at all. And we almost just saw Gonzalez do what Derek Lewis has only been able to do, is just stand up. He almost just stood up. And then Petrosyan kicked out his leg, brought him back down to the mat, and they're back here fighting for hand control again.
Jiu-jitsu for everybody.
Frustrated when he's striking. He's striking from a position where he's not going to do any damage with his strikes. He needs to focus more on sinking his level, either coming really high and getting at above Petrosyan, or sinking his head super low and trying to bring it down, clear the position. He needs to stop striking, to waste his time and doing no real damage and moving around. That's just a frustration.
Correct. Now as we start to get deeper into the fight, we're going to see, just like you said, is the deep water going to become a factor? Is that something that we may run into from either one of these two fighters? Obviously, both of them have training experience under their belts at altitude. And we're about to be underway with the third round in this title fight. Strong teep by Gonzalez. Gonzalez looks to be more on the offensive with his striking in this round. Probably has a sense of urgency about him.
Yeah, we see he's pulling it into the later rounds. His jab's coming off stiff. His teeps are there. He looks like the fresher fighter right now.
Oh, and what a stiff right hand right there by Juan Gonzalez. Art Petrosyan is trying to work his way back up to his feet, but he is not out of trouble. You now have Juan Gonzalez on top and mount, uncorking a slew of punches and elbows. He's now working around over toward the back, working his way underneath the chin. Do we see a massive comeback here in the Colorado Combat Club cage? Petrosyan is working to get himself back up. He's giving his back up while trying to get out of that bad position on the mount. Now, he has slowed down the damage, but we see elbows raining down from Juan Gonzalez. What grit and determination by Art Petrosyan. And the crowd is on their feet right now. What a sweep of position right there. Now, again, is that fatigue coming into play and not being able to hold the position if you're Juan, or is that just explosion right there from Art Petrosyan that got the job done?
He just got over anxious. He saw the finish, and instead of settling in, getting both hooks in, taking the back, and just striking to the left, stopped it. He wanted to jump the finish. And you see it happen all the time. Guys trying to jump the finish, They lose position, and in a round that he could have 10-8'd or got the finish, now he's in the position that he's been in the whole fight.
Certainly. Now, you have to wonder, though, too, how jeopardized is Art still? He did look like that he got his wits back about him. And he does appear to be back in the driver's seat right now, going for that backpack now. He's got the one hook in. He's securing that bottom hook is not in though. So Gonzalez does still have space to be able to try to at least create a scramble and get his hips away from the hips of Petrosyan. And here comes a rally back from Gonzalez. Gonzalez is working his way back to his feet, trying to scrape and get his back to the fence. But the wet blanket effect from Petrosyan is just too strong for the moment. And Petrosyan just keeps on finding a way to get to the back of Gonzalez. With every escape attempt and transition that Gonzalez tries, every scramble that he tries to create right now, he just ultimately ends up on his back.
He's trying to do what Josh said only Derek Lewis can do. And there's a reason only Derek Lewis can do it. Okay? He's super strong, he's super big. You're not going to just stand up. You got to go through the proper defense. You got to clear the hooks. You got to get hand control. You got to scrape on the cage. Juan's not doing any of that. He's just trying to stand up with a guy who's a wet blanket on his back, and it's not going to work.
Very well said there by the UFC middleweight Cody Brundage. Now the high hips of Art. Art might find himself in a bad spot. Uh-oh. Oh, we have a knee to a downed opponent. No. Clearly a downed opponent right there.
You hope that doesn't cause the end of this fight, because this fight has been so good thus far.
Trying to get a read on Petrosyan right here, but the doc is blocking my view.
Ertzi, talk about drama. This whole fight card is full of drama.
It's provocative.
It's provocative.
It gets the people going. Art Petrosyan is back to his feet, but I would like to see. And that is huge, the point deduction right there in a round that could have been going toward Juan Gonzalez's way to now, at best, be looking at a 9-9. Potentially now at this point.
He drops him again, it might be a 9-8.
Could be.
How rocked is Petrosyan still from that knee?
He's got to clinch up or get on his bike, one way or the other. He just can't keep on weathering the storm of these bombs, because eventually one of them is going to find its way. He is a Terminator. Like I said, that is a juggernaut that does not stop moving forward.
That right there is a sign of just poor fight IQ. You know you need a finish. You hurt him on the feet. Shoot a double right.
You said it better than I could right there, yo. That's just a poor choice as far as the strategy goes. Now keep in mind, folks, Art Petrosyan was originally set to fight for the Colorado Combat Club welterweight title back in December. However, due to a last-second shakeup in opponent, that fight was no longer eligible to be a title fight per the commission. Now, though, he got that shot fair and square. And it looks like the official decision is in. Momentarily, we'll be kicking it over to our Octagon announcer in Aaron Barrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, what about that third round? My God. Your judges have reached unanimous decision. All three judges scored the same, 29-27, declaring your winner and new champion, Art